Hi, hello there. So originally this video was just me ranting without an actual script, but I decided that I want to properly express my thoughts on this game in a more competent way. Security Breach Ruin is an overrated DLC for an already bad and poorly put together game. Everything about Ruin is done in the most lazy, predictable, and repetitive cycle of mediocre horror gameplay that I am surprised people are saying this is anything better but a glorified walking simulator. I got for a little more than half of this DLC before I quit out of pure boredom, so I watched a playthrough of the DLC instead, and that was boring as well. But I can't say a game is boring without explaining why, so how about we go into a little more detail? First of all, the main mechanic of the game revolves around a vanity mask you wear. You wear it and you're able to do stuff like break the laws of physics, magically spawn paths for you to walk on, face with physical objects, because who gives a damn about making a FNAF game somewhat realistic anymore when instead you can have a cool creepy mask to toggle on and off. But the mask is at least a fun mechanic? No, absolutely not. In part 1, I went much easier on this game because I was still immersed instead of my faults for the DLC, as I did not want to come across as somebody who hated something for the sake of hating on it. And I feel like I came across as much more positive on the game than how I actually felt. This DLC does a horrible job of explaining its mechanics, as it took me a stupidly long time to figure out how the node system works, because the instructions are so vague and bad. Or maybe I'm the stupid one. Hell, I am perfectly aware that games should not have to hold my hand all the time for me to understand the mechanic. Either way though, I think most can agree that all this game really is just walking around while doing a bootleg Among Us puzzles. Nothing interesting, nothing special. Let's elaborate on that. When a game introduces a new mechanic, that mechanic is supposed to slowly have variables added to it as you progress. The more of the game you get through, the more layers to the system that are added. This is how most games keep you entertained. By not sticking to the same formula for the entire runtime of the game, they expand upon what they already have throughout the experience. Otherwise, you're literally just doing the same freaking thing over and over. That is the issue with the mask and its stupid node. Not that it's a bad concept for a mechanic, it's that they don't do anything with it due to a lack of ambition. It never had expansion throughout the course of the DLC, and with the same, walk around and collect the security nodes for like 50 times in a row. I think I ranted about the main mechanic for enough time now. On to something that actually infuriates me even more about the DLC. When you introduce a main villain, it's meant to be something that sticks out in your brain about the game. In this DLC, the main villain is this weird creepy masked demon robot thing that follows you around like a jerk when you wear the mask for too long. In my part 1 video, this scared me at first if I had to admit anything, but as I continued past that point, it became more clear how pathetically easy it was to avoid that thing. A. When it spawns, literally all you have to do is take off the mask for like 5 seconds and boom. B. It takes like 30 seconds before it actually kills you, giving the player all the time in the world to react. C. Even when this game tried to make the thing an actual threat, it just never went past here. Solve this easy puzzle and take the mask off. Plain and boring. I can think of countless ways this thing could have been done better. Like, for example, you could have had it to work and still kill you if you don't have the mask on, but you can only see it when you have the mask on. This would have still been too simple as an idea for one of the main enemies, but certainly a step in the right direction if something like that could have had a few more ideas for it to mix to make it a cool design mechanic, but nah. Instead, we got one of the literally the most underwhelming enemies I have ever seen to be the main focus of the game, ever. The freaking Ink Demon from Bendy and the Dark Revival had more complexity than this. Like, how do you screw up that bad? How unbelievably lazy. Oh, wait, is that not the main villain? Oh, yeah, there's also the Mimic. Yeah, that thing. So I kind of had the theory as I played it. In my head, I had this silly little idea. What if this entire time it's not Gregory that's talking to you and it's actually something else impersonating Gregory? Well, spot on. The Mimic Gregory. I guess that's kind of a cool plot twist, so I'll give Ruin points for that. The ending was probably one of the only parts of this game that felt like a climax because it was like the only actual chase scene. The rest of it was ridiculously easy sections that felt like rip-offs of games I've already seen before, except worse because it's Security Breach. But yeah, honestly, I kind of just want to move on from this game as it's just a DLC, so it'd kind of be a waste of my energy to get too mad at it. If you disagree with me, then well, too bad, so sad. Somebody disliked something you enjoyed on the internet, get over it. If you enjoyed Ruin, then please don't let my opinion influence you too much. Just live happily ever after, knowing you had a good time with this DLC. What else do I say? Just a mediocre DLC in general. I don't know why so many people are giving it praise. But yeah, thanks for watching my little rant. I'm Qlomorey, and if you enjoyed this little blah blah blah, you're probably sick of hearing this. Just have a good day, please. Just have a good time living your life. If you want to keep up with my videos, just subscribe and hit the bell. You won't miss a thing. Yeah, goodbye.